So the past month, I would say the past 2 weeks and a half, I got sick, and I'm still kind of getting over it. I think it's a combination of getting over it and the weather changing so drastically and frequently that's just fucking me all kinds of over. And during that time, I got to the point where I used to be an avid smoker, like consistently. I would run through at least like 2 packs a week. And so this last time I got sick, um, I didn't have the desire to smoke, like smoke cigarettes. I remember one time I was at work. I went out for a smoke break, and I was so goddamn like, I was so fucking out of it. I took one sip of that cigarette and I said, "Fuck that." I couldn't. It was like the combination of the taste and the smell, like this just put me off to it. And I think it was because I was sick that happened. But since then, I haven't had a cigarette, nor have I had the desire to have a cigarette. Like it was the taste that made me be like, why the fuck did I even do this in the first place? And then also just like smelling it now, I'm like, I can't even stand the fucking smell of it. And I don't know. I felt like being sick was the perfect opportunity to like quit cigarettes, because I've been in a position and been in a mindset of wanting to quit for a hot ass minute. But I guess I never had a reason, if that's even an excuse. I never had a reason to do so. It just was like, oh, I'm at work. I need a smoke break, or I'm going through some shit. I need a cigarette, some shit. Recently, I'm so over this shit. I haven't had it, and I'm glad, man, because I remember back when I was younger, I had like this anger about me, certain anger because of certain shit that was going on in my life, that gave me kind of like a drive or a reason to live, man. Like, I've noticed in my life, every like every piece of shit male figure that was supposed to be something, it was supposed to be like a leader or uphold a certain family value, was either a fucking addict or a whore. And so my mindset back in the day was to be everything that was the furthest possibility of, or everything that was the furthest from what the fuck they were at that time, to basically show myself and to show these motherfuckers that weren't shit and didn't really give a shit about taking care of their family, that yo, this shit can be done, and you don't have to be like the people who came before you or passed you on some shit genes. And it's like, within that, and especially within being, I don't know, it was something about being sick that gave me this kind of like, I don't even know if awakening or enlightenment is the word. Just kind of like this realization, like, motherfucker, nigga, I got my reason for fucking living back. And it's not even a reason of to prove something to people that don't even give a fuck if you try to prove to them. It's like, I got my reasoning, like my drive, my anger. It ain't even got shit to do with anybody else. Like, I feel myself again, if that even makes sense. I remember all the time people back in the day used to ask me like, why the fuck are you so angry? What's wrong with you? Why you walking around looking like you mad? Especially from family members. And my mindset would be like, how the fuck are y'all asking me that and y'all missing what the fuck's going around here? Like, y'all not paying attention yourselves. Y'all don't understand, like, living in a family dynamic where you watching all these goofy ass motherfuckers make these deliberate ass decisions to do what the fuck that they doing, that's not only a detriment to the family, but it continuously hurts the people that you fuck with and rock with. That shit is disheartening. So in a sense, in some sort of way, like, that shit shaped my personality and my drive and like how I went about myself. And listening to all these bullshit ass self-help gurus, man, I swear to fuck, making it seem like, oh, you shouldn't be angry and you shouldn't go around and being like this and blah blah blah, yada yada. And I listened to that and I fell into that. And if this sounds cross to you, it's just gonna sound cross to you, because everybody's life story and journey is different. Not everybody's shit gonna sound the same. The anger that I had for the way that shit was going on, for the discontent I had for the shit I knew wasn't right, is what gave me drive and what gave me fuel. And it transformed into, I'm about to show you motherfuckers that this shit can be done and you can live life without having to fuck over somebody's mom or fuck over somebody's wife or use your addiction as an excuse to do what the fuck that you want to do. Like, it gave me some kind of sense of purpose, and being sick has brought that back to me. Cause the other day I remember I was like, shit, I want a cigarette, and I got pissed all over again, and that drive just came back. Like it fueled my reasoning for wanting to like just continue the fuck on. And it's been like, shit, I would say after this week, it'd be like a month since I had a fucking cigarette. It'd be like a month since I had a cigarette, and I haven't been this way, this like kind of cold turkey about like that kind of addiction since I let go of alcohol. Alcohol was one of those things where I just did like as a social thing, or kind of did to pass the time, or to deal with some shit. And I remember when I had my move and I really hit rock bottom, I picked up alcohol and cigarettes. And when I moved, and I think it was around the time where I had met baby girl, I had dropped alcohol completely. I'm like, I'm like, there is no point in doing this. I don't like how the fuck I feel. I don't like how the fuck it just makes you, it made me feel like shit. And everybody gonna be different. People gonna be like, oh, here go another motherfucker. Yeah, here we go, another motherfucker that's talking shit about some bullshit that ain't got no place in nobody's life, in my personal opinion. Because a lot of motherfuckers, like I said before, use that as some kind of cross-ass excuse to do what the fuck you want to do and say what the fuck you want to say. And then it's kind of like a devil made me do it kind of situation. And there really ain't no rhyme or reason to this video, man. I'm just sharing my story and my experience with it, because this is the first time that I've shared it about like kind of dropping something that really wasn't of importance to my health, or really beneficial for my health, man. But if there is anything that I could say about it, if you're somebody, like, I'm not sitting here being like, oh, you should quit. I'm not gonna tell nobody what you should be doing with your lives. You know yourself. If there's anything I'm going to say is trust the process of how the fuck your life's going. That's not even me saying that you need to trust in the God of hoo-ha or whoever the fuck. Because not everybody believes in the same thing. And I don't expect everybody to believe in the same thing or come to the same goddamn conclusions with all these different types of mindsets that exist on this planet. That's just to say, like, trust the way your life is going and trust yourself. Like, trust your body and what your body's trying to tell you and what it's going through. Because what I thought was, like, a situation of, oh, like, I'm getting sick, like this I don't know what the fuck has happened, like I'm ready to be over it, blah blah yada yada, turned into it. You know what, this is a perfect opportunity for me, you know what, this is an ideal opportunity for me to like continue in the vein that I was going in when I was sick, and like actually get rid of cigarettes. That shit's fucking difficult, man. I'm not gonna bullshit. There's times where, like, especially if I'm going through stress or anything like that, I'm like, yo, I need a fucking cigarette or some shit. But then, like, I get angry all over again, and like I get that drive again. Like, the only thing I can say about that is trust yourself, trust the fucking process of what's going on, of what life and your body itself is trying to tell you. And if you do plan on dropping something, first of all, I personally believe there is no such thing as cold turkey, because I am the one that believes in the mindset and the philosophy of whatever you remove from your life, you have to replace something of equal value. Because if you don't, something else is going to come in there, and whatever comes in there and replaces whatever you either took away or left may be worse than what you actually was planning to bring in the first place, or whatever you let go. So you got to bring something of equal value. For me personally, and it may not make sense to anybody else, and I don't expect it to make sense, that replacement was my anger that I had back when I was a kid. Like, that really fueled me. Like, for the hottest minute, like, people were surprised that all the way up until, I would say, after college, there was no drugs, there was no alcohol, there was none of that shit. I didn't do any of that shit because I saw the way that the men in my family came up and how they used all of that shit to excuse the shit that they was doing for the people that they supposedly gave a fuck about. And so for me, that replacement was getting back that anger. And it may sound like kind of cross because you hear all these self-help groups and these people talk about, oh, you shouldn't be angry. And no, y'all, like, some of y'all forget. And this is why I say, I know people don't believe in the same thing, but there is such a thing as a righteous fucking anger. There's such a thing as being angry for the right reasons and putting that in place and placing it to where it needs to be put. So that way you can use that as some type of fuel, and when it's needed, you can place it in the right place, or you can use it for the right space or the right thing. I hope that's making sense for the people that is trying to make sense out of it. If it went over your head, that's something that's going to be between you, your subconscious, and whoever the fuck it is that you pray to when it comes to this shit. But this is my story. This shit ain't easy, but I'm glad this shit happened the way it did, because it was kind of like a discovery for me to come back to who the fuck I was in the beginning and in the first place, and then carry on within a new light or a new life of how I move in the light, almost like a rebirth, if you will, of some sort. So that's my shit for today. For anybody that may be struggling with any motherfucking thing, keep your goddamn head up and hold your shit up high. Don't let nothing be an excuse as to why you can't do for you what you want to do for you, and move in a positive light in your life. I hope that helps somebody. If not, just have a good ass day. Like, set an intention to have a good day regardless of what happened, or regardless of the bullshit that may come your way. I'll see you on the next one.